How's it going, everybody? Let's get. I did go to my son's crash site today. I know the exact address. I didn't realize it was in front of a house. So I thought I was going to be able to park in a lot but now that I've driven there, I know exactly where it was. I drove by it 10 times today without knowing the exact spot. Knew I was within, knew I was driving by it. Got to talk to the EMT that actually was there and assumed because the fireman was like, no, I didn't work that day because he looked at his phone. I gave him the address. Um, but he said my paramedic was there and he went inside to get him. So very humble, tiny warehouse looking shack of a little fire department. Okay. And a very nice, of course, they're youngsters, great kids, young adults. And let me see. Let me get off this page that I'm on. Hang on just a second. There we go, much better. And so when I was looking at the crash report and it had photos, I saw this little shed and grass area, vacant lot. I thought I'd be able to park there. Well, then I was driving by there today after knowing it's, 255 feet north of 28th Street. I'm like, there's houses everywhere here. Now, these are lot houses, in other words, like half an acre, who knows how far back it goes, but it's country. And it's right on State Road 121, which is also County Road 335. And the zip code is 32668. So there's this, I think it's station number 11, which is right there. Levy County Fire Department. So it was just, you know, 100 feet, 200 feet. No, I'm sorry. It was a solid football field north of this station 11. Yeah. And I wish I could go right back there, but obviously I'm not. Um, what's done is done. But when the young man, very tall, when I said, "Were you there?" He said yes, and it got me very emotional right then. Just, I don't know, something about that connection, right? Like, oh, you were there. So, yeah, it was a moment, and I think that was more to me. Um, and I said, "Can you walk me down there?" And he said, "No, I got to go on a call." And that he immediately turned around and he got right in his paramedic truck and off they went. So the fireman hung out with me and he said, "I can drive you down there." But I said, "Well, you don't really know where it's at." And he said, "I know, but we can have an idea and I'll flash the lights." So he drove me down a ways and flashed the lights, pulled us up, the lights were flashing so I'd be safe on the side of the road. Because we pulled into like a driveway road area. Um, but I still didn't know where it was. I didn't know where it was until I came back home. And after having a visual of the terrain and the homes, which I didn't realize there were any homes there. You just don't really see them when you look at the photos. And then when I went back and looked at the crash report photos, I'm like, now I get it. Hey, stupid, there's a mailbox right there. That means somebody's living there. And what I thought was a shed, I now remember seeing what that was. That wasn't a shed. It was like a tin cover of a water pump or something. Good size. Um, but it all came to light once I got back home after seeing the terrain, the area, and then coming home and looking at the crash report. Then I was like, then I was able just to pull it up on Google Maps. It's not lawful necessarily. It's against the law to flash an address if you mean the people harm, but for their privacy, I'm not going to put up their address on social media, obviously. But I know the exact address now that I uh, did some Google mapping, and I was like, oh, well, there's the water pump shed thing at this particular address. So there you go. I know exactly where it's at. Um, it's, this Morristown, this Levy County Fire Department Station 11, um, and it's right there at the corner of Highway 121 or State Road 121 and Highway 326. 326 basically took me there from I-75. So as 326 intercepts into 121, there's that fire department, Station 11, and it's just 100 yards north of that fire department on the left-hand side of the road, or what they called, I don't know what they called it. Really and truly, as it all, yeah, it would have been the north side of the road versus the south side of the road. But the highway is also traveling north. So, but it's almost traveling east. It's very northeast, that angle as 121's heading to Gainesville. But he would, as he was heading north, his vehicle ended up on the opposite side of the road. So, but that's where it was. I'm glad that I went there. It really just something I felt like I wanted to do. Um, pay respects, just uh, kind of just be in it and sit in it, and was not emotional for me at all until that gentleman told me he was there. Then it got very emotional very quickly. Just comes right over you. But in my mind, needed to be done. Just like touching his body or kissing his arm or, you know, all of the little things that I just went through, felt like I had to go through. So, you know, a capstone. It is done. It is finished. Rest in peace. And yeah, Godspeed. God bless. God bless you all. Love you all.